Welcome back, traders. Today we're diving into the $7,500 paradox, a stunning twist in Tesla's story. Nearly 500,000 cars have been delivered, yet the stock is under pressure. Why? A deepening safety probe into FSD, a shadowy link between Elon Musk and XAI, and growing doubts about the future demand have Wall Street split, and with Q3 earnings around the corner, the stakes couldn't be higher. In this video, we'll break down the latest Tesla stock news, then pull up the chart to pinpoint the key levels and best trade setups that you need to know right now. Now, first of all, before we dive in, I would like to thank every single one of our supporters and our subscribers for the most recent video that we had, which has garnered more than 1,000 views on this channel. And to give value back to you, the viewer, we will now be live streaming Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to give you the best possible trading edge. We'll be discussing live trades and also giving you the best prices on the Magnificent Seven. Tesla came roaring back in the third quarter. They reported a record of over 497,000 vehicles, which crushed Wall Street expectations. This should be a massive green sign for the stock, right? Well, the market is hitting the panic button, and here's why. Analysts widely agree that this massive boost was fueled by a stampede of customers rushing to take advantage of the expiring federal tax credit, which ended in September. Now, without that subsidy, there's investors who are asking, what does Q4 look like? Well, this massive delivery number is being viewed not as a sign of organic growth, but as a giant sigh of relief before the cliff. We also have the price war and the European gambit. Now, this post-tax credit anxiety is driving Tesla's global strategy. Just this week, Reuters and MarketWatch report that Tesla is launching a more affordable Model Y in Europe. This follows the recent price cuts for the Model Y and Model 3 across the continent. Tesla is clearly prioritizing market share in Europe, betting that lower prices will drive volume, but contrast that with the US, where Tesla actually raised prices after the tax credit expired. This aggressive dual market pricing strategy shows a company wrestling with a serious demand headwind. Now, we must also consider the XAI factor and Musk's billions. Shifting gears, there's been a silver lining for the bull case, which has always been Elon Musk's Vision. His other AI company, XAI, is developing new technology for the gaming and robotics markets. This feeds the narrative that Tesla is sitting on a quantum leap in AI capability, which could eventually be leveraged for Tesla's cars and Optimus robots. However, there's another controversial headline. Reports emerge that Elon Musk could still receive billions from his pay package, even if the company fails to hit all of its performance goals. This is a new territory for Tesla shareholders, but it adds another layer of complexity and potential governance risk to the stock. Now let's transition towards a Tesla chart, which, as you guys can see on my screen, we're on a daily. Now, the market has been selling off, right? We did have that news about President Trump with the overall tariffs implemented on China, which tanked the market, and we lost trillions of dollars on that day. And Tesla was not the exception. As you can see here, the stock, have remained bullish as we have broken above a key area of resistance, which was this $364 area. But now I believe the stock is actually pulling back, right? We did see this nice momentum, but now we're seeing a pullback, right? And I believe we'll be finding support at the 50 EMA, which is where I believe the buyers will be found on this name. Particularly if this level does not hold, then I believe that the stock will be finding support at this prior area of resistance around $364 with 77 cents, right? As well, we also see that the volume has been declining, at a very fast rate over time, right? We saw, a nice increase, but now the volume has just been drying up here on the stock. And this does show here that this break as well of the most recent higher low does signify to us, like right here, signify that the buyers could not hold this important area of support, which was the $413 level, which is a very important psychological zone. Now, many of you guys may be asking, well, where do you see the stock going and why did it pull back? Well, the stock, hasn't broken above its all-time highs. It's been underperforming the rest of the Max 7. We've been seeing Microsoft, Google breaking above their highs, but Tesla and Amazon just haven't done so. And that's why I believe that Tesla has a lot of more room towards the upside. If we use, for example, an overall anchored VWAP from this area of resistance, obviously we have gone well above it. But if we use from here, from the last touch of the 50 MA, which happened around here on the 2nd of September of 2025, we see that that is where the buyers have to hold, and I'll put it as green. So this level, like I said, has to hold, right? Which, as I believe, that's where we found some buyers on Friday. Pretty much when we saw this sell off around the $410 level. And if we don't, which, is going to be a shame, then we'll be finding support at the 50 MA around the $388 level. And if it's even a deeper pullback towards $364. But I do see the stock going towards the overall highs. And the second price target would be towards $650.97 here on Tesla. This obviously does depend on the overall macroeconomic sentiment and what Trump has decided on those tariffs, which could ultimately impact Tesla. So now many of you guys have been asking, how can I play Tesla as a day trade? Well, simply if we look here on the 5-minute chart, which is more of a shorter interval and is used more often as a day trading time frame, we can see here that the sell-off was pretty intense here on Friday, right? We know we dropped quite aggressively from 439 all the way towards the lows, and it was a 6% drop, which is, pretty aggressive. But what I want to reiterate here is that obviously we're on a downtrend. We are below the 50 and below the 200 MA on this 5-minute time frame. But there are support levels where I believe the stock can find support for Monday. And those are going to be towards, $410.50 based on the prior areas of support, and toward the other level here of $402.79, which are prior areas of support, right? If we zoom out, we can see this here. This prior area of support, which would be here that we had on this prior day, and this area here. So I believe that the stock can find a rebound on the short term here on Monday, where I believe that, we will not see some more further selling. And to even prove it even more, we can do an overall VWAP from this selling. So let's get the average price of those sellers that came in on that day. So let's look at Thursday. So this would be Fridays. So let's take a closer look, and we can see here, this is the area of resistance. We may have a short-term bounce, and we may find some resistance at this level here, right? And then we dip down like this, right? But during this gap, this nice momentum of 2%, that is a very nice return, especially if you have, let's say, 500 shares on this name, or even 1,000, that's already $11,000 made on that single bounce. So there's a lot of potential either towards the upside or the downside, right? And even if the stock, does manage to break above this anchored VWAP or this levels of resistance, let's say that we have something like this on that day, there's just, such an intense spell. Let's say President Trump steps back on Monday and says, you know what, it was just a game, and we are going to be continuing our trade deal with China as he usually does. We already seen this in April, and we see something like this, like a break of that, then I believe the stock has even more of a chance to go towards this level here towards, a day trade, all the way towards $442, which would be from, this low, 417, a $26 move. So simply by having 1,000 shares in this name, that would equate to $26,000 of profit, or a 6% return here on this name. Obviously, you always have to make your own due diligence and have proper risk management. But I do see upside on this stock. And if we do sell off, then the levels that I do see some support are going to be the 410 and the $402 here on Tesla. And there you have it. What is your take on the Tesla paradox? Are the bulls right about the AI upside, or will the FSD probe and demand questions sink the ship? Let me know in the comment section below. If you want more dynamic breakdowns like this, hit the like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.